Welcome to the Cousin C show. Now sit your ass the fuck down and shut the fuck up. Welcome to the Cousin C show. Now sit your ass the fuck down and shut the fuck up. Hit the gas mask, hurry fast ass. 1D rappers, where your ass at? You in last week, enjoy the past week. Lucky are you, it's everlasting.
Docious, I beg the mostest, cause I speak as toasters. Check my name out on all the posters. When I hit the stage, drinks hit the coasters. Women packed all the way to the third row. We ain't in the strip club, we call it curb row. I don't know what you heard, ho. I'ma tell you straight, baby, I'm a surf pro. Running game like a pimp bitch. Yeah, I'm running game with a limp bitch. The big dog wanna see some trick, bitch. Get up there, catch a date and stack my chips, bitch.
Get the gas mask, get the gas mask. 1D rappers, where your ass at? You in last week, enjoy the past week. Must be why our music's everlasting.
The future, track bruisers. Caught the beat in the back of the cruiser. Fuck a gamer, Kama Sutra. In my Red Rover, I will run right through ya. Growl on the mic like a beast should. Go hard on the beat, think Clint Eastwood. Walk on water, everybody knew he would. Written in the scriptures, scholars knew he could. On my own, Julius Caesar. Take away my world, I only need her. What you coming? Only wanna be heard. The phoenix shall rise upon my return. Get the gas mask when we spark that.
How much was it?
I think we parked that.
Gas mask, when we pass that. 1D rappers, where your ass at? You in last week, enjoy the past week. Must be why our music's everlasting. Get the gas mask, when we pass that. 1D rappers, where your ass at? You in last week, enjoy the past week. Must be why our music's everlasting.
I go Coco, so loco. Woo woo, no Coco. Ya don't know, I'm so pro. Go so slow in a low low. Twisting like Toto. Oh no, throwing game like Tony Romo. Even the G's love me, no homo. With the crew, that's a no-no. I'm hydro when I flow. When I flow, it's tidal. Surf the beat, watch my roll. Grab the mic, kick hard like Tybo.
Gas mask, when we pass that. 1D rappers, where your ass at? You in last week, enjoy the past week. Must be why our music's everlasting. Get the gas mask, when we pass that.
One rod don't stick enough to another. The entire Velcro doesn't stick in
Enjoy the past week.
all at
Must be
once.
why our music's
None of it sticks in
everlasting.
The internet doesn't work, the phone doesn't work, the music doesn't work, the keyboard don't work, the mouse don't work, nothing works. Nothing works. But it's me, I'm just stupid to figure out how to make it work, right?
Slow rise.
Shut out the communication security establishment.
Yeah,
Changing your name again.
slow rise. Slow rise.
Doesn't matter, I got your number. Direct number. It's my number.
It's the LOWRYCA. Making MCs freeze, bitch, believe me. You can only wish to do the things that we do. And 306 stand up if you feeling the movement. It's the LOWRYCA. Making MCs freeze, bitch, believe me. You can only wish to do the things that we do. And 306 stand up if you feeling the movement. It's like a movie, how it is steady pursuing this fictional plot. Blistering hot, rap a warrior pops. Each song is another brick for the fortified wall. United we stand, united we fall, so fuck them all. I stay ahead of my game, ahead of my time. I feel the drive in my brain, you feel the force in my lines. This gang make you clean with the envy you roll. Cause every bar I fucking write comes from my soul. I try my hardest just to lace these tracks with such grace. I often question myself just to see if it's a race. Test myself sometimes past the limits of control, but do it all at any cost just to go and hold me. I gotta do it and I'm heavily pursuing on the street, but every fucking time I do it, it seems it gleams past the fucking point of observation. Now I'm steadily taking out you faggots that behave. It's the LOWRYZA. Making MCs freeze, bitch, believe me. You can only wish to do the things that we do and feel sick, stand up if you feel in the mood. It's the LOWRYZA. Making MCs freeze, bitch, believe me. You can only wish to do the things that we do and feel sick, stand up if you feel in the mood.
No one thought I had skills, but I proved them all wrong. Another sick script for another sick song. Now I'm rolling with the illest crew and all the
This is not connected.
making hits,
Look,
making
it's
tracks,
not
gonna
connected.
beat famous tunes. The tightest tracks you heard coming from low rise. Gotta please the people's taste, gotta feed their cries. E-block, Saskatoon, that's a place that's a bird. Custom making in this game, you can't be insecure. So many people tend to get lost in the tracks, and then nobody helps them and they don't bring it back. But when you hear the tracks, you'll feel right. It's doing this for all the underdogs, so they won't feel alone. Nevertheless, I put my rhymes to the curse. Should I invest in the quest to becoming the best? Dreamcast and derelict, bringing you another track, so just turn off your genre if it's something you can hack.
It's the LOWRYZA. Making MCs freeze, bitch, believe me. You can only wish to do the things that we do and feel sick, stand up if you feel in the mood. It's the LOWRYZA. Making MCs freeze, bitch, believe me. You can only wish to do the things that we do and feel sick, stand up if you feel in the mood. I smoke chronic in hotbox cars, and I still choke writing 16 bars. There's proof of damage, many scars, late at night writing under the stars. Fades of war, that's why I'm so hardcore. Found to be sold in stores. Me and derelict, the definition of evil, pierced to the feeble, like the tip of a needle, the way my flows hit people. I take stages, smear ink all over the pages. You want to battle, what the fuck are the wages? I'm serving faceless and violent outrages. Psychologists can't even case this. They say everything I write is tasteless. As time, if anyone spent time to educate this, embrace this, like I'm running a three-ring circus. Everything I cross is surplus, serving its purpose, like the Canadian military service. Got you shaking nervous, like there's a hole in your epidermis. No soul for the worthless. Go ahead and say my name, curse it. Couldn't control it, had to disperse it. Now my shirt's ripped. It's the LOWRYZA. Making MCs freeze, bitch, believe me. You can only wish to do the things that we do and feel sick, stand up if you feel in the mood. It's the LOWRYZA. Making MCs freeze, bitch, believe me. You can only wish to do the things that we do and feel sick, stand up if you feel in the mood.
More scrap metal for the ventilator factory, Mr. Ford. And they don't fit in the recycling bins, Mr. Tory. You gotta chuck them out in the street, eh? Like footballs.
I smoke angel dust and watch the angels bust. I ain't got no trust.
Oh, I got another one.
They so plain on us. Run away, they gon' park the plane on us.
Everything was close to 2 days. Apparently it's only close to 1 day. I got 2 of them.
Even outside the restaurant, they gotta wait on us. Then we free, ain't no change on us. C3 and new leaf, we so fucking dangerous. Yes, we some kind of dangerous. I put my truck hit, that's where the bangers bust. We bomb on, then you hater fuck. Yo, your potato, then make your tater butt. Yeah, I'm still sneaking on the angel dust. Not just promoting, I'm an angel, keep my halo up. Stay low, fuck them, no high, can hear heaven. And I bet you not rolling 7.
Wonder how long it lives.
Rolling 7, rolling with my brethren, high as a kite. Suggest you get paranoid, finger on the trigger when you hear noise. Don't come fuck with the fairy, boys. Won't get fucked from the fairy, boys. Need a new chiefs, watch the women hang on us. Like I said, D3 a new leaf, we're so dangerous. I smoke angels just to watch the angels fight. But I ain't got no trust, but the angels must. I'm so flavorful, they so plain on us. Run away, they come park the plane on us. Watch my gator chuck, you hater fuck. Even outside the restaurant, they gotta wait on us. And we free, D3 and new leaves, we so fucking dangerous. Oh, my mind is going through the changes. I'm only comfortable in the company of strangers. I'll tell you I'm an orphan if you meet my family. And half the time, even my my family can't stand me. I'm a Martian, right? On a Martian flight. Just trying to find another Martian life.
In the 90s, everything had a plexiglass shield.
On a deserted beach. No, I can teach, so I just do. And my mind is better than you. That makes me better than you. And I don't make the rules, so don't get pissed. My life is fine, and you live in shitty. The natural law, only strong survive. And I don't survive, I multiply. And I don't just fly right ahead and classify. So I'm at the clear port with the clear view. Can't see none of y'all bad in the rear view. Life won't change just so much the angels fuss. I ain't got no trust, but the angels must. I'm so flavorful, they so plain on us. Run away, they go park the plane on us. Watch my gator chuck, you hater fuck. Even outside the restaurant, they gotta wait on us. Ain't no change on us. C3 and new leaf, we so fucking dangerous. I'm sicker, a combination of symptoms that hit you quicker than liquor. I'm fitting to leave you all feeling like victim. Genocide on my mind, I'm thinking like Hitler. Need nobody like Osama. I'm rocking multi-generations at your mama. I'm a president, no Obama. Feet up, we cut, roll the ganja. Mr. C3, no mystery, me be history. See, I did a trip, taking pics of my dick and texting it to your chick. So sick, that's how I roll. Never slept alone, always got a couple hungry bitches begging for the bone. And your chick's begging at my phone, begging for a banging in her hole. I go deep like a mole, and I ain't fussy. I love all the fushy, the angel rush me. I ain't got no trust with the angels must. I'm so flavorful, they so plain on us. Run away, they go park the plane on us. Watch my gator chuck, you hater fuck. Even outside the restaurant, they gotta wait on us. Then we free, there's no chains on us. C3 and new leaf, we so fucking dangerous. We so fucking dangerous. We so fucking dangerous.
So fucking dangerous. Oh, my legs are all speckled. They look like a cat or something. I got spots, so not them red bumps, the fucking pigment. Looks like a little kid went and put little dots all over my legs. They look like cows or dogs or something.
Like if we were not trying, every time someone plays, they notice.
Oh, I love it. It's way better than a tattoo. It changes over time.
Yeah, it's weird.
What are you talking to me? Look at them price on the jeans. I got no time for a tease. Money is all that I breathe. I got my tricks in my sleeve. My bitch a bit of a freak. I just came out of the womb. Need to be speaking my truth. You never stepped in my shoes. I'm pulling up with no fuel. Niggas don't know what to do. I'm taking all of the loot. I got my fam from the Bay. We can be sleeping all day.
That's what Dutch people think, man. They want proof that they did business with you years later.
I'm going insane. I'm taking all of the
The container's totally standardized and marked.
I disappear like a ghost. I keep my ducks in a row.
Polypropylene, 375 mils. They expect you to take your rice and beans to work in this for like 10 years after you buy it. You don't even realize people are watching for shit like this.
Chilling with the homies makes it easier.
Oh, a Dollarama. You got that one from Canada, eh?
I can sip on this all
You a
night.
backpacker?
I can sip on
Fuck
40.
you. I work for the company. I work for Ramjack.
Rolling pleasio. Chilling with the homies makes it easier. I can sip on 40s. I can sip on this all night. Hey, I can sip on 40s. I can sip on this all night. All night. What are you talking to me? Look at them price on the jeans. I got no time for a tease. Money is all that I breathe. I got my tricks in my sleeve. My bitch a bit of a freak.
Oh, yes, they hold about an ounce of weed. Yeah, of course they do. Of course I check. Gosh, look at the dishes I already got.
I'm pulling up with no fuel. Niggas don't know what to do. I'm taking all of the loot.
Anything.
I'm taking it.
Anything the size of a hockey puck. Ever since that Don't Do Drugs Spider-Man comic, anything the size of a hockey puck, I just associate with drugs. I have to put my weed in there. They did so much damage with those anti-drug cartoons and comics when I was a kid. I didn't even think about drugs till they told us about it. People are going to offer you drugs. That still hasn't happened. Just say no. No to what? You have to have money to get drugs. What happened to my music? Well, it's not mine, but I'm the one playing it, right? Is that the end of the... That can't be the end of the shuffle. Oh, come on. Oh, that's not going to work.
Its highest single-day death toll from COVID-19 and more than 400 new cases. This as the province extends all emergency orders for more than 2 weeks.
The new $73 billion wage subsidy bill has been passed by the House of Commons to help businesses and workers through the pandemic. And details on the City of Vaughan's virtual approach to Canada Day festivities.
It's a sad day for the Edmonton Oilers along with the rest of the hockey world. Well, the Rogers Cup in Montreal is canceled. Sports at 15.
And coming up in business, stocks have bounced back some. The Dow was up more than 2,000 points this past week. Is it to be believed? And what should we do about our still ugly portfolios? We're asking the experts.
Ugly.
Straight ahead.
Can't use my terms, bro.
680 News Time, 9:01. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Carly Donahue.
If you're not going
This
to follow
report is
my
brought to you
financial
by
advice,
Mazda
don't be
of
using
Toronto.
my terms.
We do have a little bit of construction on the eastbound 401. So essentially, at the
You do your
407,
ugly
there was a
portfolio,
collision
you double
earlier,
it up,
and I
you buy
assume
more.
it did some damage to the roadway because now they are doing construction there. So eastbound 401 at the 407, we have 2 right lanes taken out for some
The
construction.
bigger the loss,
And
the
then the
bigger the
ramp to the
double up.
eastbound 407 is still closed for that collision. Otherwise, the east and west 401 are moving up to speed in all other areas. Same with the 400, the 404, DVP, Gardner, QEW. Just a small thing on the southbound 427. The ramps to the 407 are closed for maintenance. Mazda of Toronto is adapting to your needs. Right now, enjoy purchase from Home Solutions, payment deferral, and more. Visit Ontario #1 Mazda volume dealer at mazdaoftorontos.com. Your next report is at 9:11 with your forecast. Here's Jason Fraser.
Well, across the GTA, we're going to continue to see more clouds develop, and even in the overnight hours, we could start to see a little bit of drizzle or some light
Yeah, they
rain
told us
showers.
to support
And we'll see the
local. They were on the
temperature
radio
continue
telling us to
to
support
nosedive.
local.
Our overnight low tonight is 1 degree.
It's all going to end up in the
Right
local
now in downtown
scrapyard.
Toronto, 8 degrees with a clear sky and
I
similar
don't know where they
conditions
turned
at
it into
Pearson
a can.
Airport and 9
Probably
degrees.
Brampton.
680 News Time, 9:02.
1-0.
Toronto Public Health is now reporting 2,065 cases of COVID-19 in the city, with 196 in hospital and 85 in ICU. To keep numbers low, police are stepping up their efforts this weekend to enforce physical distancing bylaws. 680's Michelle Mackey has more from Toronto's police chief on the city's prevention strategy. Education and awareness, a thing of the past. Toronto Police Chief Mark Saunders says the public knows the physical distancing rules. Now the time has come to crack down on those not following them.
So what we're going to be doing is moving towards a zero tolerance with some common sense factors to it.
What do you mean with some
keep a distance
comments?
of at least
Zero
2
tolerance
meters from
with comments.
anyone
What do you
not
mean?
living in
You
your
just put a
household, in
qualifier
parks
on
and
it, bro.
public squares, or face a fine of $1,000. Chief Saunders says this is a critical time of year to enforce physical distancing.
If we can keep our foot on the gas right now, then we know that at the end of the day, when it does get warmer,
At the end of the day,
less people,
keep our foot on the
there will be a
gas.
efficacy.
The physical
like an
distancing
athlete, bro.
enforcement blitz will continue through the weekend. I'm Michelle Mackey. 680 News Time, 9:03. Ontario Premier Doug Ford says 14,000 businesses in the province have offered to begin making supplies to fight against COVID-19. 680's Zahara Hashimi reports.
Donning a Conquer COVID-19 t-shirt, Premier Doug Ford says Ontario businesses have stepped up to make critical medical
I
supplies.
think we all need to
fight
stock
the
up on
virus.
dish soap and laundry soap and quarters for
Over
the laundry mat.
14,000 submissions to Ontario Together portal. thousands of businesses put up their hand to make critical medical supplies and equipment.
Today, Ford says Ontario Together, the online hub for businesses offering to retool their services, has provided 7,500 leads on emergency supplies, leading to $90 million in purchases.
That's 5.1 million surgical gloves, 20 million surgical masks.
By the way, that 90 million in purchases is probably a much better deal than they would have paid
is also
importing
extending
this shit.
all of the current emergency measures through to April 23rd. The announcement comes as Ontario's Ministry of Health reports 31 more deaths.
I know how to fix the reaper units on those trailers.
COVID,
You're not gonna,
bringing the provincial case count
do you?
past 6,600.
The body trucks, the body
The
trucks.
federal government's massive $73 billion
If that
COVID-19
reefer
wage
unit kicks out,
subsidy
you gotta
program
move
has
all
been
those
approved
bodies
in the House of
fast.
Commons.
Passage of the legislation supporting the program was assured after Conservatives dropped their attempt to tie the bill to the longer-term question of how Parliament should function in the midst of a national health crisis. Under the bill, the federal government will pay companies 75% of the first $58,700 normally earned by each employee, or up to $847 per week for up to 12 weeks. The subsidy is retroactive to March 15th and will be available to companies that lost 15%
it's free
of
money.
their
Hey,
revenue
welcome
in
to
March,
Canada. Free
or
money, but
30%
you gotta
in April or
fucking do
May.
a lot of math.
Finance Minister Bill Morneau says the money should be available within 2 to 5 weeks. Terry Pickle, the Canadian Press, Ottawa.
Meanwhile, Conservative leader Andrew
So
Scheer
if it's
told the House of
payroll
Commons
money, you
that
wait 2 to
Canada's
5
energy
weeks.
sector
If
needs
it's money
financial
because you're not
help
working
and
at all, you
fast.
get it in 3
Lori
days.
Paris, of the Canadian Press, reports.
The Prime Minister
If you didn't even have a job in the first place, you get a bunch of money without applying at all.
Two measures to help
Makes a lot of sense.
as many people as we could across the country.
Right,
The Canada
that's what
Emergency
happened.
Response Benefit and the wage subsidy at 75%. There will be more coming for the oil sector as we develop sectoral solutions. The
Fuck
Trudeau
the
government
oil
has struck a
sector.
deal with opposition parties to swiftly
Why are they
approve a
selling oil
massive
when they're
$73
importing
billion
oil?
COVID-19 wage subsidy program. From the Canadian Press, I'm Lori Paris.
Alberta is sending medical supplies to Ontario, Quebec, and British Columbia.
better, or
As
we're
a
gonna come
result,
get 'em.
Ontario will receive 250,000 N95 masks, 5 million procedural masks, 15 million gloves, 87,000 goggles, and 50 ventilators. Premier Jason Kenney says he's absolutely confident sharing supplies will not cause a shortage in Alberta. He also says he couldn't, in good conscience, stockpile equipment when other provinces are in danger of running out. This is All News Radio 680 News. Over the past month, Quebec Premier François Legault says 31 people have died at a West End Montreal long-term care home. Legault says at least 5 people at the residence have died after testing positive for COVID-19.
The owner of this residence refused to give us access to the file of the patients, and it's only last night at 8 p.m. that we learned that the number of deaths since March 13 was 31.
Both Quebec's health and public security departments have ordered a police investigation. Turning stateside, the United States has surpassed Italy for the highest national COVID-19 death toll. ABC's Mark Remillard reports.
As of Saturday
We're
afternoon,
number one.
19,701 people have died in the U.S. from coronavirus, according to data from Johns Hopkins University. That now tops the Italian death toll, which was reported Saturday at 19,468.
In accordance with the national lockdown, Italy's president says he, like many other Italians, will be marking Easter in solitude to help curb the spread of the
They
virus.
put the glue on the right side on this
You're listening
one.
to 680 News. New York City's mayor says public schools will remain closed for the rest of the academic year, but the governor says that's
the
his
governor
call to make.
says it's his.
Shortly after, Mayor Bill de Blasio made the announcement Saturday that keeps schools closed.
It clearly will help us save lives.
Governor Andrew Cuomo says he's the one who has the legal authority in this situation.
I understand the mayor's position, which is he wants to close them
I
until
think New
June.
York City's going to do
And
what it
we may
wants,
do
bro.
that, but we're going to do it in a coordinated sense with the other localities.
Well, you're not,
Cuomo
because they
says
don't have
ideally,
nothing
the
in
school
common.
closing and reopening decision will be coordinated
Dumbass.
with the entire state and hopefully the tri-state. Julie Walker, New York.
This portion of the news is brought to you by New Life Fertility Center. The city of Vaughan is taking a different approach to Canada Day this year in light of COVID-19. As 680's Phil Martino tells us, it will be a virtual celebration.
When our nation's birthday rolls around this year, the City of Vaughan will be hosting its first ever virtual Canada Day celebration. This will allow the residents of the city to mark the event safely from the comfort of their homes.
You have residents in Vaughan?
Bevilacqua says it's the right thing to do.
We need to take all necessary precautions and preventive measures to make sure that the COVID-19 stops spreading throughout the community.
So what's it going to look like?
There's also going to be a portion of it dedicated, obviously, to COVID-19 and what COVID-19 has done to our community. And by that, I mean it in positive terms. How the communities come together.
You mean it in positive, buddy. We don't want to hear about the positive things this virus has done.
All about.
No word yet on the lineup, but planning for the online Canada Day event is underway. I'm Phil Martino.
Still to come on 680 News, traffic and weather together on the ones. 680 News time, 9:09.
Working from home?
Stay up to date on the coronavirus.
Now more than ever.
Listen 3, 4, 5 times a day on your radio.
680news.com.
Or ask to play 680 News on your smart speaker.
I don't know how you
At
get
this
it in the
difficult
can.
time, New Life Fertility Center wishes
There's
you
not
good
an
health
air
and
gap
safety,
with bubble
and
in
thanks
there.
the government for helping with the financial burden. It's been hard, but from this hardship will come new life. And when you start yours, consider partnering with New Life Fertility. Don't worry about the cost, because New Life
Don't worry
also
about the
stands by you
cost.
financially with the guaranteed lowest IVF cost, just $7,900, and the highest success rate. Terms and conditions apply.
Success rate? Wait, you don't even guarantee results, do
Now
you?
time for the 680 gas price update.
$8
And
grand.
predicts the price
You
of gas
might
will
get
not
what you
change
pay
at
for.
midnight, remaining
Wow.
at
The
77.9
airlines.
cents a liter. Traffic and weather together next. 680 News time, 9:10.
In times like these,
11.
shouldn't your money work even harder for you? We think so. That's why at Duca Credit Union, you get no-fee checking accounts.
What the
You
fuck
also get
is the
high
deal
interest
with
on
this?
deposits and investments.
There's nothing
and low
holding it in
mortgage
there,
rates.
right?
Plus, you get to share in the profits. That's the Duca difference.
It's
And
the
now
end
we're
of the
offering
meat, just
2.5%
sticking to the
interest on
lid.
your savings until March 31st, 2021. Find out how at
You gotta be
earnmore.duca.com.
fucking kidding me.
Do more, be more, achieve more.
There's one
with Duca
stupid
Credit
little
Union.
thing after another.
Conditions
All the
apply.
fucking money in the world they're spending to put curses and black magic. I get dumb little things.
Clubs or sports teams to support them. That's why kids
Oh, I get
Help
almost
is
killed
here,
by
offering young
cars.
people
I get hit by the
free,
car and it don't
non-judgmental
kill me. I get
24/7 support
almost
from
hit by the
Phone
one that
Chat
would
and
have killed.
Text.
Shit like
The
that
need
happens
is
every
greater
fucking
than
day.
ever.
I get
Please
cut with
donate
dumb
at
shit.
kidshelpphone.ca
Things
to
fall
make
down
sure
and
they can
smash
always
right
be
next to
there.
me.
A
Like
message from
fucking.
Unifor Local 414.
It's a
Proud
joke. It's been
supporters
like
of
this my whole
Canada's
life. That's why I
most
think it's
precious
funny
resource,
people put the
our
effort in.
children and youth.
Like I'm not gonna find out what they're doing.
This time,
I'm like
9/11.
stupid. I'm
Time
not
for
gonna.
traffic
People are
and
gonna
weather
tell me.
together on the ones. Here's
People
Carly
don't tell me.
Donahue. This report is brought to you by
I tell them to
WeCleanCovid19.ca.
take your fucking
It's a
money.
lightly traveled evening out there on the major routes, which is some good news for drivers. There's not
There's
really much
literally
happening on the
nothing
eastbound
holding
401
it
at the
in.
407. There
Nothing.
was a
There's no
collision
air. There's
earlier. I
air all
assume
the way
it
around
caused
it.
some kind of damage to the roadway because construction crews are now out there repairing in the exact
I
same
got 3
spot
more.
that the
I'll
crash
just eat a
happened.
different
So
one.
right at the 407, there's 2 right lanes
Such
closed
a
off, and then we
minor
have the ramp to the
irritation.
eastbound 407 still blocked off for that collision earlier. Southbound 427, the ramps to the 407 are closed down for maintenance. And other than that, you are construction and collision and delay free in the GTA
Blood
right
cells
now.
exploding all over
However,
my
I'm just
fucking
seeing
body
on one of
right
our
now.
cameras right now, if you're traveling northbound on the DVP right in Lawrence, it does seem like we've got a situation on
Look,
the right
it's not touching
shoulder
the sides of the
slash
can
right
or the end of the can, and
there
it still
seems to
won't
be
come
a
out.
bunch
What the
of
fuck is
police
that?
officer cars, cruisers, and
There's probably
some
something
emergency vehicles
nasty at the
there.
other
So
end of this. I
just a heads
swear
up
to
for
God,
that.
I'm gonna fucking
Business
throw
owners,
this
home builders, and
across the
homeowners
fucking room.
alike, stop the
Depending
spread.
on what
Ensure that
comes
your
out,
home or
right?
business is COVID-19 virus and pathogen free, guaranteed with
It's
WeCleanCovid19.ca.
not
Look
touching the
today at
fucking can, man.
WeCleanCovid19.ca. Your next report is at 9:21 with your forecast. Here's Jason Fraser.
Somebody asked me why I started
Continue to see
streaming.
more
This
clouds
type of shit is
developing around
why.
the GTA as the
There's nothing
evening
holding it
progresses.
there. Nothing.
Overnight, we can't rule out the possibility of a rain shower developing. I do think the rain will likely stick around through part of the morning hours, and then we'll see a few peaks of some sunshine throughout the afternoon. And
Fuck
towards
your
the latter
sunshine.
half of the
Stay in your
afternoon and
house.
into the evening on Easter,
Go back
that's when we'll get
inside.
another round of some rain showers. High temperature tomorrow of 12 degrees, and tomorrow night the rain continues, and we'll see a low temperature of 8 degrees. Our overnight low tonight is 1 degree.
Right now in downtown Toronto, a clear sky, it's 8 degrees, and the same over at Pearson Airport. Still to come on 680 News, we're taking a closer look at how the federal government is exempting migrant workers from COVID-19 cross-border travel restrictions. 680 News Time, 9:13.
We're two men and a truck. So, you're moving to a new home, and all that's left to do is
Mexicanos, bienvenidos.
Well, naturally, you think two men in a truck.
Diez
Since you know we have
pesos.
lots of men and lots of trucks. They'll wrap, pack, and move everything you want. With a
quinceañeros.
96% referral rating and the professionalism you can trust, the choice is simple. For a free in-home estimate, call today. We're two men in a truck. We're open for business. Two men and a truck. The movers who care.
Toronto is enriched by publicly owned services that help make this the best
They'll
city
pick
in
the
the world.
tobacco, the hemp, the
Librarians
strawberries,
who
the
help us
apples, the
research
blueberries,
projects,
everything.
to public health nurses who keep us healthy, to recycling
Apples.
collectors who keep blue box materials out of landfills. These public services are
If I keep
integral
buying
to
it, they'll
vibrant
keep
and
paying the
prosperous
immigrants to
cities
come here and
because they're
pick it.
accountable to
And they
residents
just let them
and good
across
for
the
both
border.
economy
You heard it?
and workers.
Oh,
You can support
butterfly
them by
effect
visiting yourcitydeal.ca,
with the Intratech. I'm not playing
a
games
message
with
from the
this shit.
Canadian Union of Public Employees.
365 times $1.70. That's somebody's paycheck.
Clear and 8 degrees in downtown Toronto. Good evening. From the 680 News Broadcast Center, I'm Eden Sveta. And I'm Veronica Soar. Here are the top stories this hour. Police are out this weekend for another social distancing blitz as Toronto health officials announced 2,000 cases of COVID-19 in the city. Aimed at helping businesses and workers through the pandemic, the House of Commons has passed Canada's new $73 billion wage subsidy bill. Over 14,000 Ontario businesses are offering to make medical supplies for the province to help in the fight against COVID-19. For these stories and more, head over to 680news.com. 680 News Time, 9:15. Now 680 Sports from Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Here's Brent Gunning.
Some sad news in the hockey world today. 25-year-old Colby Cave, who played in the Oilers organization, dies at the age of 25. He was in hospital since Monday and was put in a coma on Tuesday. Cave played in 67 career NHL games, the vast majority of those coming with Edmonton, including 11 this season.
Shit, this motherfucker's biting.
With Boston. The Rogers Cup in Montreal will not be played this year. It was scheduled for August, but will not go ahead as planned. It was supposed to be the women there this summer. Instead, the WTA will return for 2021. The move comes off the back of the Quebec government canceling all public events through August 31st. There has been no announcement made about Toronto's Rogers Cup, which takes place at the same time with the men here in Toronto. And if you want some basketball tonight, Sportsnet has you covered. Game 5 of last year's NBA Finals between the Warriors and Raptors is underway right now. You can watch it on Sportsnet along with Sportsnet Now. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime at sportsnet.ca/590.
680 News Time, 9:16.
For all of us, these are trying times.
When will life return to normal?
When can you visit your favorite neighborhood shop again?
Hi, it's Sarah Paris. These local businesses are a part of our life, and while we will recover, many places need your help to survive. We encourage you to support locals so we can keep the places you love open. It all starts with you.
To submit or find a local business to support in your area, visit 680news.com/support local.
Operation Support Local. We're all in this together.
You've suffered from anxiety and depression during this pandemic, and now your claim for disability is denied. My name is Aaron Waxman, and during this pandemic, we are open and working for our clients from our homes. If your disability claim is denied for any reason, call me at 416-661-4878 or pound LTD on your cell phone. And before you call, you should always remember that there are no bad questions. 416-661-4878 or pound LTD.
You're listening to All News Radio 680 News. The federal government has exempted migrant workers from COVID-19 cross-border travel restrictions. Trudeau says it's because of their importance to the Canadian economy. Federal officials have said these workers
Fuck you, Trudeau. I ain't paying you $2 for a bush apple. No way, buy that.
For 14 days upon arrival. But the leader of the Quebecois says more than 100 temporary farm workers arrived in Quebec this week from Mexico, and that he is concerned they're not being tested for the virus upon their arrival. He also says their mandatory quarantine will happen on the farms
Stay 6 feet away,
rather than in federal facilities.
You can't understand the language, keep walking until you can't hear it, and you'll be fine.
Organized crime is waiting in the wings to extend its influence with businesses hard hit by COVID-19.
I soldi già ce li hanno, stanno aspettando.
Renowned anti-mafia writer and activist Roberto Saviano is among mafia experts urging Italy to push for strong EU economic support to bolster its hard-hit economy and help defend it against more mafia infiltration.
Non è che gli arriva l'uomo con la pistola.
Organized crime isn't looking for more money, it's looking for opportunities to invest and recycle the money it already has, says Saviano. It doesn't do it by holding a gun to someone's head, it does it by identifying businesses in trouble and taking over. Megan Williams, ABC News, Rome.
Don't let your businesses get in trouble.
COVID-19 concerns have pushed a U.S. judge to allow the temporary release of a convicted attorney.
U.S. District Judge James Selma allowed Michael Avenatti to be released from federal jail in New York City and to ride out the coronavirus scare at a friend's home in Los Angeles. Selma said Avenatti could stay at a friend's home in Venice Beach during a 90-day release period, but he must first be tested for COVID-19 and quarantined for 14 days at a prison facility. He must also post a $1 million bond and wear an electronic monitoring bracelet. Mark Millard, ABC News, New York.
The union representing employees at a facility for adults with developmental and physical disabilities in Markham says it's working with management to address staffing shortages. That's after dozens of staff walked out after an outbreak of COVID-19 on site. Participation House, their Highway 7 and 9th line, issued an urgent call for more staff and supplies after the lockout. The union representing the workers is not implementing several measures following the confirmation that some staff and residents at the facility tested positive for the virus. According to the CDC, the measures include wage increases, transportation and housing accommodations, and the insurance of adequate levels of personal protective equipment. Coming up in just 60 seconds, traffic and weather together on the ones. With City News Time 920.
Dear Real Canadian Superstore and No Frills customers, starting April 16, flyers will be digital only. Please know that low price commitment is still the #1 priority, and they're still providing great weekly promotions and offers. Find them in store on superstore.ca, nofrills.ca, and in the PC Optimum app.
Are you looking for a ministry-inspected online high school where you can earn credits or upgrade your marks? Learn from home with the Ontario Virtual School. The Ontario Virtual School allows you to earn OSSD credits while you learn from home, so you can get your high school diploma. Now is a good time to sign up. Set your own schedule and get 24-hour access to our certified teachers. Some courses can be completed in as little as 4 weeks. Learn more at OntarioVirtualSchool.ca.
Dear Real
Because time will stop what you're thinking. Don't give a fuck about what you've been thinking or what you've been planning. I think the 22 will leave a hole in your stomach. So can't stick to the shadows and river bends. Even make it harder for them to follow the same. Every man is chasing a dream. I'm on the up with a rock and a scheme. Got to skipping stones on the river of life. That's why we live so right. Caught up in the ripples, me my brothers grew up pissed off and angry like a liquor was off the temple. The fed is greed, and now we hit the streets and breathe. I wonder if they really ready for me. I keep a machete ready in case they change their talk.
The entire world has got a free grade 10 biology list.
My life is like a horror movie with too many sequels. Never really got along with other people. My foster parents thought that I was evil, cause they caught me rolling Bibles in a church steeple. I wonder if God listens, and if he does he hear me screaming at the sky every time I buzz? Mama, I'ma die, dog. Forever selling drugs. I find myself to rip and cut with all the other thugs. And in the end, I'm just a modern day pirate disciple with Cyrus, sworn to silence. Sworn to silence. Mama, I'm a thug, and I'm always gonna be this way. Even if they lock me up and never release me again. Mama, I'm a thug, and I'm always gonna be this way. Even if I die, I'ma take my cause to the grave. Mama, I'm a thug, and I'm always gonna be this way. Even if they lock me up and never release me again. Mama, I'm a thug, and I'm always
24 minutes ago, we went live.
I'ma take my cause to the grave. Mama, I'm a thug.
Well, that's real helpful.
Yeah. I I should've listened to the things that mama used to say. Now I slang crack right by the ball where I used to play. Of course you couldn't believe her when she says that everything will be okay. From the scars, tell a different story either way. I hope that God sees me on my way. That's the struggle to get paid. On the hustle night and day. Till I shake your hand and see your face. I'ma be this way. Life ain't always what it's cracked out to be. Never some happiness only lasts as long as the binge. But I avoid myself with the little things. I'm not a gold chain in the pinky ring. I hope that God give me wings. Giving up to carry my sins. But when it is my time to ascend, and I'm in the depths of hell where the story shall end. To the depths of hell, my story shall end. Mama, I'm a thug, and I'm always gonna be this way. Even if they lock me up, they'll never release me again. Mama, I'm a thug, and I'm always gonna be this way. Even if I die, I'ma take my cause to the grave. Mama, I'm a thug, and I'm always gonna be this way. Even if they lock me up, they'll never release me again. Mama, I'm a thug, and I'm always gonna be this way. Even if I die, I'ma take my cause to the grave. Mama, I'm a thug, and I'm always gonna be this way. Even if they lock me up, they'll never release me again. Mama, I'm a thug, and I'm always gonna be this way.
B19 fucking making little explosions under my skin, all over my fucking body.
Yeah, girl, you know I had to dedicate this one to you. It's Mary Jane. Yeah. I just been working with what I was given, yeah. Mama told me, the days like this, days when I wrote a read and reminisce, I'm thinking of all the dead homies that I miss. And all my dogs in the cage, they ain't even gonna get their head. Still I'm black flagged up to my death. Until I go, this the way it is. I grind hard for the food in my flesh. So I shoot the devil where I live. And now he won't leave me alone. He keeps banging on my door and blowing up my phone. Miss Mary Jane, my only relief from this game. The only bitch that understands what I'm saying. You know I stay puffing on the good. Windows roll low when I try to slow through the hood. Still I keep my mind on my money like a
Ashes in that blood, like that way to get me high. Get that purpose, don't be shy. Still be rolling up that Hercules and ashes in that blood, like that way to get me high. Get that purpose, don't be shy.
Sweet to me. It's times in my life when you had to breathe for me. Without you, I probably wouldn't be here now. I'd be lost without you there to hold me down. Whenever you come around, there's always a smile on my face. And you can tell we just kissed cause my eyes glazed. Don't you take my heart and keep it in a safe place. Cause it's a cold world, baby girl. That's why I turn to you for strength. In the backseat, placing all the note in the cage. Yeah, you can do it all with me. We broke these streets, no apologies. So we made to the very end. I swear to God, I'm in love with Mary Jane.
Seriously. I can't believe this shit.
Yeah. What up? It's drama. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm power tripping with money popping my collar on that hood shit. Fresh out of jail, straight to the dollars, got a good connecting never ace. Oh, on the product, hit the block and watch the money rise. Bread in the oven, pockets full of stuffing. Never catch me clubbing, but I ain't show the money, then the hoes come running. Wake up, get the paper like the free press coming. But enough about that. Hold up, let me spit a rap for these assholes, man. With a crack flow, cops in the front, then I'm dipping through the back door. Frostbite on my toes, damn, almost lost those. Running through the snow in my socks, trying to dodge fog. My jail days was the worst days. Sipping water, damn juice when you thirsty. Real talk, the 3.5 for them. That's 1,276 mornings when my baby mama was out home telling me stories. They like who your baby daddy is. Better call Maury. Used to roll up at your mama's with a bag full of Tonys and a pocket full of money. Not the kind that she would loan me now. Sick as kid rapping still. Like someone called a doctor, cause the rap is ill. Here, take another pill. Fake rappers acting still. I've been on my A game, shit, never lacked the skill. Real top. Yeah, that's that gang like shit. Yeah, homeboy, yo. I'm from the same side, where they might walk up or they might drop by. Got staying high, cause today I might die. My homie doing robberies, trying to feed his kids. Got shot and now he don't do shit. I live in a cold moment, fuck yesterday, tomorrow bringing some pain. Yeah, my other homie, he a parole violator. When I see the video with his eyes dilated, they locked him up quicker than the secret sex. See you later, alligator. Crowd surfing on the pack of haters. Tomorrow never comes, tonight is all that matters. I'm staying faded, cause I don't like who I am when I'm sober. Staring in the mirror like behold, the demon that holds you.
If I'm going back, why is it going forwards? Oh, what the fuck are you doing? You gotta be fucking kidding me. Oh my god. You gotta be fucking joking, eh?
Yeah, I dream.
Oh,
well, I'm wide awake. I might lose it all, that's the risk I take. Yeah, I dream. Well, I'm wide awake. Turn up the beat, I refuse to fade. Yeah, I dream. Well, I'm wide awake. I might lose it all, that's the risk I take. Yeah, I dream. Well, I'm wide awake. Turn up the beat, I refuse to fade. Yeah, I dream. He running out of options, swerving through the stop signs. On cracks, that cash just a pastime. Black gun, black mask, get a 4-door Jeep ride. What would it be like to live a G life? All I know is sacrifice, long days, cold nights in the city where the dreams go to die. I'm puffing on the weed cause you gotta stay high. I'm sipping on the liquor cause the gangsta die quicker. These are the bloodshot eyes of a killer. I put that on my flag. I'm going hard till I'm in that body bag. In the back of the cab with a brick in a duffel bag. Yeah, my pants sag, as sure as the gun bag. We move on them as soon as they come in range. All grown up, still playing cops and robbers. Real cops, real guns, and real robbers. Got me dreaming about a better way. Still this rap shit help me get away. Something that they can't take away. This shit'll still play, even when I'm in my grave. Yeah, it's Mr. Fucking Law. Mr. Fist against the jaw. Mr. When I'm done breaking down your door, you can't fist the whip for sure. Yeah, I climbed from the gutter. Had to grind for my bread and butter. I'd rather die than let my family suffer. Fucking undercover, eternal slumber. My voice boom, like the god of thunder. From the steps to the keys, you ain't done what I done. You ain't seen what I've seen. I keep my head in the streets when I'm serving these fiends. Yeah, the gun's loaded. You don't really want to see the bell smoking. Yeah, I dream. Well, I'm wide awake. I might lose it all. That's the risk I take. Yeah, I dream. Well, I'm wide awake. Turn up the beat. I refuse to fade. Yeah, I dream. Well, I'm wide awake. I might lose it all. That's the risk I take. Yeah, I dream. Well, I'm wide awake. Turn up the beat. I refuse to fade. Yeah, I dream. Back to the basics. Keeping the whole hood on lock with the street combination. Bringing it back to the days when Papa Jake made a statement. In the hood, ain't nothing changed. Struggle daily for the pain. I was raised the place of the product you wage. See, I came up, ain't full of strap, begging a pager. Hustle talking to strangers, a life of danger. See, simple, get to change, just to live with things. Stress, push my limit, I hate you, but love my haters. Foes on the street trying to fade us, but never could phase. A nigga fucked in the head, so they leave with me.
20 million surgical masks and 250,000 face shields.
The province is also reporting 31 new fatalities, bringing Ontario's death toll to 253. And while more than 400 positive tests brings the total case count past 6,600, about 40% of these patients have recovered. I'm Seher Hashimi.
A massive deal aimed at helping Canadian workers and businesses is one step closer to becoming a reality. The $73 billion wage subsidy program is heading to the Senate now and will likely receive royal assent tonight.
Finance Minister Bill Morneau explained the legislation.
Businesses, nonprofits, and charities, they're all able to apply for the Canada Emergency Wage Subsidy if they've seen a 15% reduction in revenues this March or 30% reduction in revenues in April or May.
Organizations can get 75% of an employee's wages up to the first $58,700 of their salary covered by the federal government for up to 12 weeks. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says it's the largest economic measures our country has seen since World War II.
Even as we stand apart, we stand united.
He's also promising the feds will keep working to make sure businesses and workers across the country get the support they need. I'm Jonathan Sechrist.
Ontario is getting a helping hand from Alberta, which is sending us 250,000 N95 masks. We'll also be getting 5 million procedural masks, 15 million gloves, 87,000 goggles, and 50 ventilators. In addition, BC and Quebec will be receiving some much-needed medical supplies as well. Alberta will begin shipping these items next week and is willing to provide more to other provinces as the need arises.
This is 680 News at 9:36. A Longo store in Vaughan is temporarily closing for a second time after an 8th employee tested positive for COVID-19. The Toronto Star reporting the grocery store closed on Weston Road on the 26th of March after a staff member tested positive the day before. The company says a deep cleaning and sanitization of the store was done on April 7th after another staff member tested positive as well. The employee has not been to the store since, and staff who worked there since March 28th are being asked to stay home and self-monitor for the next 14 days. Staff members who test positive will be paid in full until the store reopens.
South of the border, U.S. President Donald Trump is taking a cautious approach on when to reopen the country. This comes as White House officials are pointing to hopeful signs that the spread of the virus could be slowing. But New York Governor Andrew Cuomo says pushing the reopening date for economic reasons is an unethical moral dilemma.
I understand the need to bring back the economy as quickly as possible. I understand people need to work. I also know we need to save lives, and we have. And one cannot be at the expense of the other.
Health experts warn reopening the country too quickly could spark a deadly resurgence that could undermine current distancing efforts.
And the largest school system in the U.S. with 1.1 million students will remain closed for the rest of the academic year.
New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio says it was not an easy decision.
I can also tell you it's the right thing to do. It clearly will help us save lives.
Online education has been going on since schools closed March 16th, but it's been rocky, with many low-income students not having internet access.
We already can say that 66,000 devices have been distributed. We have to get 240,000 more in the hands of our kids over the next couple of weeks.
According to Education Week, as of Friday, 19 other states have closed their schools for the rest of the academic year. Julie Walker, New York.
With the NHL in full lockdown, we've seen players take to social media to show what they're doing to stay busy. Now one of the NHL's top stars is venturing into a new gig, game show host. 680 Simon Bennett has more.
The NHL trying to put together as much content as possible while players stay home and wait out the shutdown. PK Subban, one of the league's most charismatic players, so it's no surprise he's doing this.
Hey, hockey fans, join me, PK Subban.
NHL Hat Trick Trivia, a new weekly show where fans try to answer questions from their homes. Here's an idea of what to expect.
Which current defenseman for the New Jersey Devils has great looks, skill, and style?
It's you. And remember, if you end up on the show, don't worry. There's no way any of your answers are worse than this. Oh, wait, sorry, wrong show. Sorry, Family Feud. Sorry. NHL Hat Trick Trivia debuts at noon on Sportsnet. I'm Simon Bennett.
Still to come on 680 News, traffic and weather together on the ones, but first we'll check where the price of gas is going at midnight.
680 News Time, 9:39.
The
The coronavirus pandemic has created a dramatic new world. It's a really weird time with lots of uncertainty. People are at home, self-isolating.
Strange, cause my touch of human nature, this nation's fucked up. Still lurking the lanes, been like that since I was young. And my girl together we want, she taught me how to use my tongue. About that good shit, I'm high, so my pain is numb. You can find me lost in the mist and I'm rolling up. West End, listen, my veins still run through my bloodstreams. All day, gotta survive, for else I gotta feed. All night, creep through the hood, meets in the alley. Focus my brains on these blocks, making these damn streets. Nigga crook, got a leg, came up on that goddess leg. Money over everything, could show me the ease of pain. Things again colder, but the soldier marching in the leg. West End went to pay, that's where I was raised. Mama told me stay in school, you gotta make your daily bread. Instead of nigga cutting class investigations by the fest. My mama, I was only 17, posted with a bag. Daddy wasn't there, the guy in the streets made me a man. Pray for the Lord to save him, God embracing the hatred. Music for the elevation, steady elevated. Mind focus, heavyweight, but quick when we started pacing. Even the phone's devastated like a break that patient.
I dream, while I'm wide awake. I might lose it all, that's the risk I take. Yeah, I dream, while I'm wide awake. Turn up the beat, I refuse to fake. Yeah, I dream, while I'm wide awake. I might lose it all, that's the risk I take. Yeah, I dream, while I'm wide awake. Turn up the beat, I refuse to fake. Yeah, I dream, while I'm wide awake. I might lose it all, that's the risk I take. Yeah, I dream, while I'm wide awake. Turn up the beat, I refuse to fake. Yeah, I dream, while I'm wide awake. I might lose it all, that's the risk I take. Yeah, I dream, while I'm wide awake. Turn up the beat, I refuse to fake.
All these suckers try to hate with they fake rap shit. They mad cause we got game and we play that shit. You sad sissies have names, you just play rap snitches. Back then, all you know you do is play that shit. You can't ask shit, so say you know and play that shit. Always bang my ladies thinking, hey, that's sick. I'll take that bitch, you cake that you can't last with. So take that dick, for telling me you can't stack shit. Fuck business, make fake ass bitch. I'll put you in a casket, up in it with a mattress. Cats acting, they will, they matic is rapping. Fuck wax, the clap with the mechanical faster batteries. Massive pop, a tragedy happened to be the first blasted with the last but laughing. The savages happen, I'm like an animal trapped in. Hungry we eat cats like some cannibal fat kid. Criminals in the mission to fill a dish in the play. We getting which fuck with this commission to pay. We'll catch you slipping ammunition, no diminish your flame. Bitches, bitch, you bringing fire while extinguish your flame. We don't play, flipping out the kitchen with cake. Don't say no names, I hear you whispering names. Just living with snakes, you're giving information to change. You didn't snitch, start betting with your signature stage. Takes to play, but kids you can't gang when you spit straight. This same shit, spray war with your kids back down. Cali hollow 4 fists to your whip cake. Give his baby mama 4 dicks in a chit stain. Built, we flip case, slanging shit, my quick bang chips, man. Chillin' curry in it for the quick pay. Chillin' with the bitches, said he's slicking curry pimp, man. Whips with the 6 switchblade, 20-inch range.
Dream, while I'm wide awake. I might lose it all, that's the risk I take. Yeah, I dream, while I'm wide awake. Turn up the beat, I refuse to fake. Yeah, I dream, while I'm wide awake.